Here.
Good evening. I'm glad to have the opportunity to come and talk to you guys, give you a little bit of an idea of where I come from and kind of where I stand on the issues. I'm a respiratory therapist and a clinical researcher at Mayo Clinic. So I help out with study designs. I go ahead sometimes, some of the studies I actually help undertake myself. And I'm actually pretty excited about where we stand as a district. I know that's kind of an unusual thing to say, considering all the things that we hear about the school district and all the budget cut issues that are coming up, and those are definitely hard issues that we're going to have to face. But I think that it's also a great opportunity for some fundamental change in the way that we operate as a school district. So I'm excited to take on a challenge like this to help provide some good leadership for the school district. And most importantly, I think that we need folks on the board who understand kind of where we're going when it comes to kind of data-driven education. You know, we talk about evidence-based medicine a lot, and more our education is becoming evidence-based. Our funding is tied to standardized exams, and we face serious challenges in the future. As we continue to face budget cuts, we will continue to experience both funding shortages from the states and also deferments of payments from the state. And so we need to take a look at how we run our finances in the district, and I think that we need to start considering what's fiscally sustainable and what's responsible for our district. So throughout the night, as I respond to your questions and stuff, I think I'm going to try and show you where the opportunity is in some of these issues that we face as a district. And we'll have an opportunity to elaborate that on as the night goes on. So look forward to your questions. Wow, I'm under time.
She said, my name is Gary Smith. Why did I run for the school board? In my day job, I run the organization in a town called Rochester Area Economic Development. And I see great potential for this community's future as it relates to continued growth and prosperity, as it relates to health sciences, life sciences, information technology. But increasingly that future is becoming more and more complex, it's becoming more and more uncertain. And one thing we have to have is we have to have a school system that provides the academic foundation for kids, whether they choose to go in those fields or some other field, choose to stay in the community, choose to leave, come back. This school system provides the academic foundation for which those children are going to either succeed or fail in the future. We all read about some of the current problems, communication problems within the system. I'm optimistic about the future as well, but I think we're going to need some strong leadership on the school board. My perspective is a little bit different, I think, than any candidate up here in the fact that what I do for my living, it does kind of connect up with the policy side of education here in the community. And I want to use my ability to bring people together. You know, this isn't about administration versus teachers versus students versus business versus community. The solution, folks, is everybody has to be at the table. What's it going to take to make this the best possible school system, not just in the state of Minnesota, but in the United States? What about the world? This is a community that takes on those kinds of challenges. We're going to need strong leadership to do that. I'm prepared, like I said, to bring my skills to the table. One of the things that I do in my day job, I really don't do anything by myself. You know, the projects we work on require a banker, require the city's engagement, requires the state involvement in that. There's a whole plethora of people that you've got to get around the table to make this stuff happen. And I think that the skills that I bring that's unique to this job will be the ability to bring folks together, to really talk about that community dialogue to make this system the best possible system can be in the long term. Thank you. I look forward to answering your questions as well.
My name is Mike Baker. I'm running for school board seat number 4. First of all, I'd like to thank the current school board members that are here for doing such a wonderful job on making those tough cuts. You know, I think they're the least popular position around right now because of the funding cuts from the state. One of the big things that I'd like to have the district take a look at is how we pick our superintendent. I would like to pick the superintendent from the high schools. I would like to use the high school principal as the feeder system for picking the new superintendent. We take these, we want people who are invested in the community, number one, I believe. Number two, typically when people come into our community to teach, sometimes they stay at the same school, sometimes they transfer to different schools. The principals typically go from elementary to middle school. They've been at several schools up to the high school. From the high school position, they have a good grasp of what's going on in the community, what the educational needs of the community are. We're already educating these principals on the side with their workshops and their meetings that are way out of the classroom, looking at the best curriculums, etc. One of the problems, I've been in town, my wife and I have been here 20 years. Since outcome-based education was dropped, basically we had kids just starting in school. Outcome-based education was shoved down the teacher's throat, just as I believe efficacy was. Okay, I believe that if our teachers buy into a system that has been recommended by someone who has come up through the system, understands the needs and the desires of the school district, just like a corporation, from someone rising from the bottom of the corporation up to the top, they have a greater understanding of what the needs, not only of the district are, but of the community as a whole. So I'm going to be proposing that the way we choose a superintendent is done differently. That's going to be one of my main goals. Another thing I want to propose is alternative sources of financing that the school district has not looked at. Okay? There's other means that we can get monies. I understand we're under a governor's change right now. The state's funding's kind of dried up. We know what we have to work with. If another party candidate is elected, we might have more funding. Okay? Obviously, we're all going to have to pay for that. But I believe we deserve the best education here in this city that we possibly can have. Okay, and I think we're all willing to do whatever it takes to get that. I want to thank the teachers also. I think the teachers are doing a great job. We've put 5 of our kids through the district. 4 of them are still in college. I'm finally marrying one off this summer. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Susan Nee, and I'm probably new to most people in the community, except for I'm looking for any of my old friends from IBM. Old like me. IBM brought me to this community 30 years ago, and I moved from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. I'm the daughter of a journalist. My dad worked for the Eau Claire Leader Times in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, in Packers. And my mother was an English major at the Eau Claire Teachers College. She really wanted to be a PE teacher, but she actually stayed at home and raised 7 kids, me included. So I love sports, I love writing. You've probably seen a few of my columns published in the local Post Bulletin. In fact, if you look at susane.org, I will point you to those columns that I've published in the local Post Bulletin. So I stepped out of the working world after working for IBM for 25 years. At 25 years,